Well, Happy New Year. I wanted to make a point before the end of the year to give you something to think about for 2017. And I happened to check into a webinar that was actually being done by somebody, I guess you would say, is in our space. But I don't know if they're really in our space. To take a half a step back, 85% of my time I spend on a proprietary P&L shop in New York City and working with our traders here. And 15% of my time I spend talking to people like you through SMB training and sharing with the trading community and doing our stuff there. So during that 15% of my time where I'm working with SMB training, I checked into a webinar from somebody in that space, in the education space. And the whole crux of the webinar, and I actually like to go to other people's webinars. I went to a charity event from somebody else in the education space where actually I learned a lot. I like to expose myself to other ideas. I have a lot of conversations with people in the trading education space who I learn a lot from. There are a lot of people that I really respect. And it's my job to always be reaching out, learning, so that I can perhaps point somebody on our desk in the direction of an educator who can help them, maybe give them a new idea. Maybe we'll partner with them, maybe we'll work together with an educator. Maybe the educator will have an idea for myself, which I can then use to help some of our guys here with our training. But, so that's a part of my day. So I just sort of stepped into this room and it kind of pissed me off. It really bothered me. The whole tenor of it, the whole structure of it. They hit every single button that you're supposed to hit on the marketing side. They said everything you're supposed to say to get somebody to be interested in buying a product. They hit nerves of financial freedom and paying off your credit card debt. And they talked about only having to trade 2 hours a day. And they talked about not having to actually go to work every day. And they talked about having all this time to, I guess, watch Netflix. It was unclear what you were going to be doing with all this free time. And I just don't understand this selling point of only trading 2 hours a day, as if this is a good thing. My takeaway from that is, well, they only actually had strategies that they could trade for 2 hours a day. And why would you only want to learn that? And they were reaching out to people who were only interested in trading for a very short period of time. If you really enjoy trading, why wouldn't you want to do more of it? Why would you only want to do it for 2 hours a day? And look, trading 2 hours a day is fine if you're going to spend 8 other hours or 6 other hours testing other ideas that you might trade at a different time. That's fine. We have guys who are here doing that, but they were just sort of saying, let's just work for 2 hours and then I guess, chill. I just don't understand that. Why would you get into trading and not find out how good you can be? Why would that not be your goal? Why would you gravitate towards this? And there's this clear sub-message that they were putting out there, which is, if you're unhappy with your life, if you have credit card debt, and that's sort of what's going on in your life, the way to be happy is to trade. Take this program and trade. And I just was sitting there, puzzled. If you're unhappy before you take someone's program, after the program, you're still going to be unhappy because you're an unhappy person and need to fix a bunch of things in your life. And so the whole thing just struck me as strange. And really the major takeaway that I should sort of share with you is you should never take a training program where people are trying to put you into a box. If someone only has 2 hours of training to offer you, then they're only teaching you a very limited number of strategies. And to find out how good you're going to find out how you should attack markets at the beginning, you need to experiment. You need to experiment with a lot of different setups. You don't experiment with a couple of them, because all you find out is whether or not you like 2 or 3 setups. You got to try a lot of different setups. And you really do have to have a period of unsuccess. You got to try things that don't work. You got to develop your niche. The only way to actually understand what your niche is to try a whole bunch of different types of setups. And then see, hey, I'm having success with this. See, hey, this makes sense for my trading brain. Hey, I should spend more time studying it. Hey, let me develop a routine around these types of trades. So I guess as we head into the new year, my parting tip is for the developing traders, try a bunch of different stuff and find a niche. But how good can you be? At our firm, I guess an analogy is we want to lift heavy weights. We want to do things that are hard. And after we lift heavy weights, we want to lift weights that are heavier. And after we lift those heavier weights, we want to lift weights that are heavier. We want to test ourselves. We find that the people that follow us also embrace that type of philosophy. We want to find out how good we can be. We want to test and push our traders to be as good as we can be. I just had a conversation with our floor manager. One of our guys, who is a former very, very high-level athlete, walked in late to one of our classes. And I pulled our floor manager in and said, I don't ever want to see that again. No one shows up late to any of our mentoring sessions, ever. Ever. No one ever shows up late. Communicate that very clearly to everyone who's going through our programs. Don't ever show up late. Don't ever skip on any parts of your daily routine which are put in place for you to improve. Don't miss anything. If anyone misses a playbook trade or a book of charts exercise, they're on the demo the next day. And if they have a problem with that, we don't want them here, because we want to lift heavier weights. So Happy New Year. We'll talk to you guys soon. Trade well.